Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Fott Stadium on the campus of Franklin College for the home opener of the season for the Franklin Grizzlies. They are 0-2, and coming into town is Trine, the Thunder, at 0-2, off to a great start, taking down two HCAC teams. In week one, they beat Anderson 38-0, and then Rose Holman gave them a game last week on the road for Trine. They squeaked out a 24-23 lead over the win over the Fighting Engineers. Franklin, on the other hand, fell to Olivet on the road a couple weeks ago, 35-31. And then to Aurora, 49-16, and are now back home for their opener. Looking at this matchup, historically speaking, they last played 13 years ago. They played in a few games in a row, back-to-back. Okay, welcome to Franklin College. After getting everything all situated, we got about 6 minutes to kick off for today's game. So the history between these two teams, Franklin is in the last 13 years, or they last played 13 years ago. Franklin won that game here at Fott Stadium, 30-29, and that was back in 2009 was the last time these two teams played. They played 6 years straight between 2004 and 2009. The Grizzlies are 5-1 versus Trine all time and 3-0 at Fott Stadium. There's the tail of the tape as the Grizzlies take the field. In home openers dating back to 1989, Franklin is 11-13. They have played some tough teams in that stretch, including Trine. That was the home opener back in 2007. Trine was then known as Tri-State, and we'll talk more about them as we go on. Franklin has won their last two home openers. Last game, Franklin played Aurora, came up short, 49-16. They were down 14-0 early and never really caught up. Jared Gibson had a great game, though. It was over 100 yards receiving. Kai Ross, who's had a good run of just quarterback decision-making over the course of his season, had a couple interceptions. Garrett Cora, who's been outstanding this season, was limited to 39 yards rushing in that matchup. For Trine, they trailed Rose Holman 23-3 at the half and ended up rallying 21-0 at the end. They had three players rush for over 40 yards. And we'll pause for the anthem. Looking at the starting lineups for today's game, Franklin, it's a couple players to look out for. Head coach Alan Hensel, now 10-9 in his third year with the Grizzlies. We'll have at quarterback Kai Ross, who has been, for the most part, fantastic this year. He is 25th in the country in passing yards. He is 7th in the country in passing completions. His teammates praise him on how precise and his decision making. He had to pick up starting at the end of last year. He is now 2-3 as a starter with the Grizzlies. His main running back will be Garrett Corr. They'll mix in Derek Thompson and probably Cameron Johnson as well at running back. Spencer Wright is a converted quarterback at wide receiver. The other receiver, Jared Gibson, was outstanding last week, the team MVP on offense. He has 15 catches on the season. Spencer Wright has 13. And then the deep threat on the outside, Dylan McKinney, an Evansville native, a junior. He has 6 catches and is averaging over 23 yards per reception. Rias Moore is the tight end from Brownsburg, Indiana. The offensive line is experienced. From left to right, Ethan Corwin, Justin Case, Parker Hacker, Adam Frey, and Armani Christopher. The defense for Trine is Jamon Gibson, a game wrecker up front. He's all conference as a defensive end and a junior. Jacob Yoder on the other side. It plays a little rush outside linebacker, a little bit of defensive end. They kind of goes wherever they need him, and he's had a really strong season. Kendall Himes and Jacob Jackson are in the middle of that defense. Linebacking core, Skylar Warren, and then Kyle Nafe was expected to start, but he is dealing with some injuries. He's listed as out for today. We'll see if that changes, or at least doubtful for today. Tucker Hasselman is listed back up, a sophomore, and Marquise Tagliaferri, a senior from Angola, Indiana, is the strong side linebacker, and he's had a good run during his time with the Thunder. Jalen Page is one of the cornerbacks. Angel Sanchez is the other. Keyshawn Amison is one of the stars of the team, and the defensive play caller is at safety, as is Mark Guerrero. Defensively for Franklin, it's Jairo Jada, a defensive end from Carmel. Owen Ogle, Isaac Lawrence, and Shea McGrath are on the defensive line. Charlie Moore and the senior linebacker Cody Wilkerson's in the middle. Aaron Black on the outside. Those are your 3 linebackers. Gary Jackson, crazy athlete, Darian Porter, Michael Lupper, and Elijah Robinson are the defensive backs. The offense for Trine, Alex Price, Zane Kirby, the backs. Price, the quarterback. Zane Kirby, the outstanding running back. More on him later. At fullback, Damian Crowder. He was one of the 3 players for Trine to almost hit the half-century mark, and he had a key run against Rose Holman. Receivers, Cale Lawson, Brandon Klein, Connor Arthur, Matthew Shoemaker's a tight end, and the line, Peyton Dustin, Alexander Lewis, Makai Simmons, Jackson Lindback, and Connor Ousley. So we are ready to go. Weather today is fantastic. It's 81 degrees, feels a little bit cooler. Slight breeze out of the west at 3 miles an hour. No chance of rain, and we're underway. The home opener at Fott Stadium, and it'll be fielded out of the end zone by Jared Gibson. And Gibson, with a bit of a hole, squeaks his way to the 22-yard line, and that is where we'll see Kai Ross and the Grizzlies take over. Ross not only ranked nationally as a passer, he's been great in the HCAC. He's number 1 in the conference in yards per game, completion, and attempts. He's 51 of 76 for 588 yards. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. The 2 touchdowns came in game 1, the 2 picks in game 2. And here he is, looking down the sideline right off the bat for McKinney, and it's off his fingers. Takes us to 2nd down. The Grizzlies offense, they average 362 yards per game. That's 95th best in the country. They're great through the air. 294 yards per game. And on the ground, 68 yards per game. That's 220 and 202nd. Not so great. Trying to find his way through is Cora, and he got about 2 yards. So 3rd down and 8 for Franklin. Defensively, this is a strong team for Trine. They're 7th nationally in total defense, 7th against the rush, 30th against the pass. Very few vulnerabilities for Trine. Ross tries to find his way through and has Gibson a first down across the 50-yard line and down towards the 40. A huge gain, about 38 yards for Gibson. And a change and the new set for Franklin. Gibson off to a great season. He leads the HCAC in receptions. He's two-time All-First-Team HCAC. Cora stumbles and cartwheels his way to the 34-yard line. Gain of 6 on it. So it'll be second down and 4 for Franklin. Garrett Cora was outstanding last year, the HCAC Newcomer of the Year. He was second team all-conference. He's just hard to tackle, is what his teammates called him. They get to go against him in practice, and Trine got to see that last play. This one incomplete for Gibson. The crowd and the home sideline for Franklin wanted pass interference, and they're not getting it. So Ross now, 1 for 3, third down and 4 for Franklin. That 36-yard completion to Gibson. Garrett Cora now, 8 yards on 2. And it's third down and 4. Coming close to 13 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Cora trying to get on the run, trying to kick it outside, fights his way, and he's going to be a couple yards short. Got 2, needed 4, not getting it. Jacob Yoder on the stop for Trine. Yoder, an interesting character from Elkhart, Indiana, a senior, not highly recruited, but just a guy who got in, worked with the system. And now his head coach, Troy Abbs, he believes Yoder is playing at an all-conference level at defensive end for Trine. And it's fourth down and 3. Ross stepping back, hits Gibson for the first down. 2 catches by Jared Gibson, both go for first downs. That one's 7, and it's enough. And the Grizzlies move the chains again. And we have strength versus strength here on this side of the ball. For Franklin, one of the best offenses, at least one of the best passing offenses in the country, in the top 50. And Trine, one of the elite defenses in Division III. But it's first and 10 from the 26, and it's all blown dead, and a timeout taken by Franklin. So as we have a timeout, I wanted to talk about a few things. First of all, today is a Salute to Service Day, so we have a few mementos to remember that as this game progresses. But there's a new voice on the PA system here at Franklin College. Brad Hubler is taking over because Steve McClure, the longtime announcer at many places, he was the voice of here at Fott Stadium for many years. He did they have a stat announcer at Colts games, all professional announcers, and they run through the stats. Steve did that too, but he died in on June 25th of this year. He was 77 years old after a short battle with cancer. Steve is going to be very well missed. He's survived by his wife of 34 years, Sylvia, and his daughter, Jennifer Schofield, and his granddaughter, Erin. So new voice here at Fott Stadium for somber notes. I want to give Steve a shout out here. The first game he's missed in some time. And Kai Ross throws this one off the back of McKinney, who took a hit from Mark Guerrero, and it'll be second down and 10. Be the 9th play of the drive. It's covered 54 yards so far. In motion, Matt Neely, the backup tight end, and he gets it and is going to go down. Oh, he stayed up and then is escorted out of bounds. Neely landed on the back of the defender. It looks like he might have got a yard out of it. That was his second career catch by Matt Neely. His first catch went for 21 yards. That one shorter. got nothing. Third down and 10 for the Grizzlies. Maybe squeaked it forward a couple inches. Third down of the drive. Typically, this Trine defense good against third down, but they're left a man open, and that was Rias Moore, the senior Brownsburg Bulldog. Fourth catch of the year. The tight end just found a little seam and made the snag. Gain of 16 on the play, taking the ball down to the 14-yard line. Grizzlies in the red zone. So far this season, Franklin has scored on 80% of the red zone opportunities. Half of those went for touchdowns, and something Alan Hensel has mentioned. He wants to see his Grizzlies score more touchdowns. Don't settle for those field goals. He's looking for Cora, and there's the first at home this year. Touchdown, Franklin. Garrett Cora, his first receiving touchdown of the season, fifth for his career, and Kairos, third touchdown of the season. It's 6-0 Franklin. And that very tough Trine defense got punctured there, at least on the first drive. Their chance for rebuttal will be coming shortly. But now to kick is Derek Balden. He's 5 for 5 on PATs. The hold from Peyton Rubel. And she's good. It's 7-0 Grizzlies on Grizz TV, presented by Hubler Automotive Group. That scoring drive for Franklin, 11 plays, 80 yards. Took a little over 3.5 minutes, 3:38 to be precise, before Garrett Cora hauled in the touchdown pass. 14-yarder from Kairos, and now Trine gets their crack at it. Gabe Crutchfield drives it down range, and here is a very quick man. Jay Gladio tried the outside, got it to the 34-yard line. Gladio is a member of the track team at Trine. He's a national champion in the 400-meter hurdle, so if you can't go low on him, he'll jump right over you. But he has multiple school records and is a two-time All-American, and that's who Trine has to return kicks. Who they have at quarterback is Alex Price, a senior from Reading, Michigan. Does not have the flashiest numbers, but Trine is a great run team. They average 172 on the ground, that's 65th in the country. Franklin has not had the stoutest run defense this season. They're 294.5 allowed on the ground, but they stand up there, taking down Zane Kirby, the lead running back for Trine. Kirby averaging 4.6 yards per carry on 25 carries this season. He didn't play too much in the first game against Anderson. They mixed in a bunch of people. Fullback is Dominic Crowder. They mix in between a fullback and 4 wide, and they have 4 wide receivers right now on 2nd and 10. High snap to Price, and it's kept by Price. Actually, he's trying the outside. He's going to have the first down and scampers out of bounds. And a first down for Trine. Price is one of the leading rushers. He and Kirby entered today with both 116 yards rushing. They also have a Wildcat quarterback who is, unlike most Wildcat quarterbacks, an actual quarterback, Cole Alexander, a transfer. And they'll mix him in between number 8 and number 3, and it's 1st and 10. Both plays on the ground. This will be the same. Price looking for a seam, and he's submarined up front by Cody Wilkerson, the captain of the team, one of the captains of the team. He spoke prior to today. He said that this season just feels different to him. This is his last season playing as a senior. And you remember what previous seniors said when you're a younger player that you got to take every game for granted, and Wilkerson did not take that play for granted. Second down and 10. Price looking to throw for the first time is going to go down. Sacked on the play. A couple of Grizzlies got there. One was Shea McGrath, and the other was Isaac Lawrence. Lawrence, the strongest pound-for-pound player on the Grizzlies. Scoring Allen Hensel, and now it's 3rd and 10 at Fott Stadium. Price gets it off with 5 seconds on the play clock. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Brandon Klein. Came up empty. And a couple words exchanged between Shea McGrath and Jackson Lindback, two of the top players on each respective line. And Trine will have to punt. They are a great third down team. Convert 41% of them, Franklin 42%, both respectable numbers, but the Trine drive got basically not much. They got 1 first down, gained 16 total yards on mostly one play. And now to be Braden Moore to punt it away for the Thunder. And one Grizzly almost got in there to have a chance at blocking it. Gibson fair catches, and now Franklin will take over for the second time today. In their last drive, 11 plays, 78 yards for Franklin. Ended up in a touchdown pass from Kai Ross to Garrett Cora. And we'll see what Franklin does this time. Kai Ross, 5 of 8 for 55 yards so far, 43 of them. Well, more than that. 69 yards. He's got 43 of them to Gibson, 12 to Moore, 14 to Cora. And now play begins. And it's Ross from the pistol. And he hands it off to Cameron Johnson, the Lebanon Tiger. Thompson's second on the team in rushing. Right now for Franklin to begin this season, the rushing totals are Garrett Cora and then pretty much all by his lonesome. Johnson had 21 yards entering today. Thompson had 12 entering today. Ross was minus 19. Some of those were sacks. They're down in 7. Johnson again. The defense all strung out. He turns upfield. Gets across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Nice gain of 3 on the play, 7 yards for Johnson. And it's a third down and reasonable, 3rd and 3 for Franklin. Bottom of your screen, Spencer Wright, converted quarterback, played quarterback for Franklin the last 2 years. The multi-state champion at quarterback for Western Boone High School. Rias Moore in the near side slot. He will go the opposite way to Gibson, who fights for a first down again. Outstanding by Jared Gibson. He needed 3 yards. He got about 5. And the chains move. 1st and 10. 7 minutes and a half left here in the first quarter. Johnson is engulfed. Jamon Gibson, the first team All-MIAA selection. He was second team during the spring season last year, 2 years ago. Leads the conference in sacks. And he is just a force on defense. And something that Troy Abbs, the coach for Trine, really excited about with Jamon Gibson is he makes all his plays within the scheme. He doesn't try to leak out from it. Makes the plays with how the defense is drawn up, and there's an interception. Mark Guerrero taking it the other way, into the 10, into the end zone, touchdown Trine. That Trine defense is stingy. That is now the 4th interception by a Trine defender on the season. Keyshawn Amison is the typical one. He has 2. But now Mark Guerrero, who had not had an interception in his career, he's a senior, picks that one, takes it to the house. So the ruling from our referee was there was basically taunting, unsportsmanlike conduct on Mark Guerrero, who returned that interception. First, well, we haven't had many flags so far today, but that one on Guerrero. And it'll be enforced on the kickoff, so the extra point will be pretty stand up. It's up, and it is good. Punched through the uprights by Anthony Hentz, who's now 9 for 9 on the season. And it was a pick 6 that ended Franklin's second drive. Their third crack at it coming up momentarily here on Grizz TV, presented by Hubler Automotive Group. Alrighty, folks, getting ready for the next kickoff. That pick 6 took a little buzz off, but the Franklin offense about to take back to the field. Kai Ross so far today now 6 for 10 for 75 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And getting ready to kick it back off is Braden Moore. Gibson with a chance for fantastic field position, trying to weave through and gets the ball up to the 38-yard line. It is great field position for the Grizzlies. We'll see how Franklin responds. From the gun again, McKinney by himself in the bottom, wide. It'll be Garrett Cora. Cameron Johnson saw most of the running on the last drive. Cora gets a yard. Second down and 9. Ross from the gun, blitz coming from the top, picked up well by Cora, who submarined him. Ross in trouble and throws it behind Cora. So it'll be third down and long, third down and 9 for Franklin with 5:52 to go here in the first quarter. On third downs, this Trine defense has been stout. They're allowing opponents only to convert 23% of the time. They're way behind the number. Franklin had been on a roll before that interception. Ross blitz up the middle, and he was looking for McKinney. And it was incomplete. There was some hand fighting between him and Angel Sanchez. And it will have to be a punt coming for Franklin. We'll get to see Dylan Boswell, a senior from Butlerville, Indiana, third in the conference in the HCAC in punt average. He was first team all HCAC last year, second team in the spring 21 season. And the dangerous Kyron Peterson is back to return, the longest punt return ever. In case you're wondering, 24 yards back in 2020. Well, the spring of 21, and that's not going to be returned. And it's going to be a great kick by Boswell. It rolls all the way to the 12-yard line. I'll tell you what, Dylan Boswell, a huge weapon anybody would want to have. He's averaging over 40 yards per punt this season, and that is now his fourth inside the 20 on a cannon of a punt. He got lifted in the air by one of his teammates here on the near sideline. "50 yards by Dylan Boswell, and now Alex Price will have to take over from his own 12, back facing the end zone. 5 minutes, 36 seconds to go, first quarter here on Grizz TV, presented by Hubler Automotive Group. Hand off to Zane Kirby, the ever-dangerous running back, taken down after a gain of about 4. Got it up to the 16-yard line. Zane Kirby, longest run of his career. He went 82 versus Mount St. Joseph last season. But he is just a gym room warrior. Coach's daughter, Troy Abb's daughter, calls him Tarzan. He kind of looks at it, he's got flowing hair. Troy says built like a brick. He's out of the game right now. Dominic Crowder is in, the fullback. 2nd down and 6 for Trine. And it is Crowder and in all parts, and he's very dangerous in the open field. Gets the ball to the 30. Crowder moves decisively. He had a 24-yard run against Rose Holman last week. That basically blew the game open. That one a gain of 15. First down and 10. Second first down of the game for Trine. And it's kept by Price. Nowhere to go. Kicks it outside, finds a seam, and squeaks across the 35-yard line. Be marked out at about the 37. I think it'll be marked. Say a gain of 5 on the play. Second and 4, a long 4 for Trine. They have to get to the 41. Price awaits in the gun. 2 tight ends heavy on the near left. And timeout on the play with 3 minutes and 52 seconds to go. We'll try to keep you filled in on other activities going on around Franklin College. A lot of teams are active today. Give you those updates periodically throughout the broadcast.
Second down and 4. A long 4 for Trine. Teams have burned a timeout. And Price awaits in gun. 5 wide for the Thunder. Price with time, floats one. Oh, what a grab downfield by Connor Arthur. Reached up and over the defensive back on the play. It looked to be Aaron Black, the star linebacker.
Tried to drift out on Arthur. Arthur, a fantastic player. He was second team all-conference back in the spring of 21. He is one of 6 MIAA wide receivers with over 2 touchdowns this season. You saw one of the reasons why there. Super fast. His coach says that he could be a scholarship athlete, but his brother went to Trine, and they just wanted, the Arthurs wanted to keep that family legacy. He came through on second and down. Here's the throw, pitch and catch, touchdown Trine. And the Thunder take the lead. Brandon Klein on the little post route for the touchdown. Gain of 27. And coming back out is
Anthony Hentz. It's 13-7 and 3:13 to go here in the first quarter. And the snap from Warren Joseph was solid. The hold was good. The kick was good. It is 14-7. Trine. They lead early here against Franklin. And it's 14 unanswered. We have the men's soccer team for Franklin playing right now against Berea. And that game is going very well into the first half. Franklin leads 2-0. Halfway through that one. Coming close, about 3 minutes to go here. Oh, beautiful day at Fod Stadium. 14-7 the score. We're back underway. Franklin had a very strong opening drive. See what they can offer here. Gibson got it across the 20 before being pummeled down. Got the ball up to the 23-yard line. First drive for Franklin went 78 yards, a touchdown, then there was a pick 6, and then the Grizzlies only gained 1 yard their last series before punting. It was a great punt, but Trine, their offense quickly erased any deficits there. Now here come the Grizzly offense. Facing their first deficit on the scoreboard of the day. Ross at quarterback, Cora at running back, and it will be Cora, middle of the defense, stonewalled, got a yard maybe. Second down and 9. Ross. Right in, Jamon Gibson was in his face. Heaves it down the sideline out of bounds. It'll be third down and long. McKinney in motion. Ross looking, will run. A bunch of white jerseys in between him. The ball came out. The referee says he was down. Jamon Gibson came up with it, but he got about 5 yards on the play, and now Franklin will have to punt, one would believe. The down marker wasn't updated. 4th down and 4, and Boswell out to punt with 2 minutes to go here, first quarter. Another blast from Boswell. Pearson can return it though, and he's so dangerous. He's at the 35, works his way across the 40, still moving across the 45-yard line. We'll see where he was marked down. He'll be at the 45-yard line, and now the Grizzly defense comes out. They're able to stop Trine for a punt on their first drive, but the last drive was much quicker. 5 plays, 55 yards. And just under 2.5 minutes. Price right now, 2 for 3 for 63 yards and a touchdown. Both completions over 27 yards. Klein had a 27-yard for a touchdown. Arthur 36 on his big gainer. And here is Arthur on the little pop pass, jukes it outside. Looked like there could have been a face mask, but he gets it across the 50-yard line to the 47.
First rush, well, I guess it's a pit. That was technically a reception. Now 7 receptions for Arthur. That'll be 2nd down and 2. A gain of 8. Under a minute to go here, first quarter. Crowder. He's a big load to bring down, and he gets it across the 40-yard line to the 37. 10-yard gain by Crowder. And the chains move. We'll see how many plays Trine gets off here before the end of the quarter. We're at 40 seconds right now. Cale Lawson's been quiet so far. He's wide to the bottom of your screen. Klein wide to the top, Arthur in the slot. Crowder, the running back, has the ball, bows down one man, gets it to the 25-yard line. Gain of 20 on the play, gain of 12 on the play. The clock starts rolling. We'll see if Trine will run another play. They have time to do it if they so choose. There's 10 seconds left. Make it 5. 4. Price lining things up and not going to get it off in time. That takes us into the first quarter. Trine leads 14-7.
Welcome to the second quarter, everybody. Trine leads, looking to add on. They have a 14-7 lead on Franklin. First and 10. Price eluded one man, fights his way to the 21-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. Price, a good runner. He, entering today, had almost thrown for he's almost rushed for as many yards that he had thrown for. He's averaging 5.5 per rush. Thrown for 132 yards entering today. He's improved upon that now. Across the 200-yard mark. Still not spectacular numbers, but whatever works. The clock's whittling down, and Troy Abs takes a timeout. So we said today was a salute to service day. Franklin does this every year. They got the shields on the helmet. One of them is the typical Franklin Grizzly blue and gold. The other one is star spangled. And so I thought we would work in a couple tributes to soldiers here on the broadcast and read some poems or works that attest to that. And here's one called The Soldier's Life by Staff Sergeant Scott Hilligoss. The soldier's life is not for all. A soldier must be willing to give his all. He is overworked and underpaid. A truer patriot was never made. Ready to go at any time. Wherever there is trouble or the first sign, his courage and honor are unsurpassed, ready and willing to complete the task. Traveling to lands both near and far, he stands his post and looks at the stars, wondering what he might have done if he had not chosen to carry a gun. Remember the next time that you are driving by and see a flag flying proud and high, that somewhere out there a soldier stands, weary and cold in a foreign land, protecting our country from our foes, standing tall and proud come rain or snow. Second down and 6. High snap, Price looking to run with it. A bunch of Grizzlies are surrounded him, and down he goes. Isaac Lawrence in on it, Cody Wilkerson there too. Zooming in was Darian Porter in the back of the defense. Third down and 6. Nothing gained on that play, nothing lost. Price looking to throw, lost the ball, it's fumbled. It's down, 2 Grizzlies are there. Price is there too. Jairo Jada comes away fired up, so does Shea McGrath. And it will be 4th down. Price able to fall back on the football. Trine, for as well as they've played so far, they have not been able to convert a 3rd down yet. They've had to get everything in quick regulation. They're now 0 for 2 on 3rd downs this game. And a long field goal coming up here. For it looks like the Grizzlies jumped a flag down. The kick would have been short by Braden Moore. But Trine's going to get a few yards here. Question is, was Franklin tricked into jumping? Were they fooled? Were they induced? So it is a false start by Franklin, but it's not enough yards to give Trine the 1st down. The ball moves up to the 19-yard line. So it'll be a 36-yard field goal attempt by Braden Moore. Kick is up. Kick is good. He crushed it. And it's 17-7. A drive for Trine. 7 plays, 36 yards. Ends in a 36-yard field goal. Took almost 4 minutes, 3 minutes and 51 seconds. And Trine now scored 17 unanswered points. For our friends joining us from Angola. And you're wondering, Grizzlies? That doesn't sound like I don't think there are many Grizzlies in Indiana, let alone the Franklin area. You'd be right on that point. But where Franklin got their name, it wasn't one of those naming contests they have nowadays. It was something more organic. Franklin had a great basketball coach in the 1920s named Ernest Wagner. Went by the nickname Grizz because he was an outdoorsman, liked to hunt, fish, played outside all the time. Called him Grizz. And he led this great basketball team called the Wonder Five to a national championship back in the mid-20s. Several Hall of Famer, National Basketball Hall of Famer, Fuzzy Vanderveer was on that team, and Grizz Wagner was the coach, and the team in his honor was named the Grizzlies. And that name carried on to the high school where they became the Grizzly Cubs. And Grizz Wagner coached there as well. Taught at the school. This kick is left short, and it will be genuflected down at the 21.
That is how the Franklin Grizzlies got their name. As far as name changes go, Trine, who's played Franklin 6 times in history since they started playing football. They used to be Tri-State University, but they switched it to Trine in 2008. Their mascot is he's a white tiger named Storm, and one of their famous alums, or notable alums, is named by Ralph Kettner. So from the fair catch, it will be marked at the 25-yard line. Ralph Kettner attended then Tri-State University in the 1930s, went on to found a grocery store named Food Town, then became Food Lion. Hold that thought. Dylan McKinney across the 40 in a flash. Gain of 18 on the play. That'll get the Grizzlies moving. McKinney entered today over 23 yards per reception. He's taking a breather now, rotating his shoulder. Hunter Hatfield's in the game in his place. Kai Ross looks the other way towards Spencer Wright, takes the tumble. Wright looking for a flag, not getting it. Ross's helmet popped off after he was knocked down at the end of the play, or as he was throwing the football. So it'll be 2nd down and 10, and it looks like Ross going to have to come out for a play. That means Blake Shear will come in, the junior backup quarterback from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Has not thrown a pass so far this season, and this looks like it probably will be a run. Cameron Johnson, a strong candidate. 2nd down and 10. And there's Johnson. And there goes Johnson across the 45-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play. And in back comes Kai Ross, having to sit out the play because his helmet came off. They're down and 7. Over the middle, Spencer Wright, he lost the football. He had the first down. Looks like he got back on it. Trine saying it was incomplete. Everyone waving their arms saying it's incomplete. The referees are conferring if it's a completion, it would be a first down for the Grizzlies. And all eyes at Fott Stadium are zoomed in on the officials who've gathered, discussing, was that a completed catch? Wright says it was. His voice hardly matters right now. All of Trine says it wasn't. We'll see. The Trine defense has moved back. It looks like it's going to stand. And it's a first down for Franklin.
Gain of 12 for the Grizzlies. So when the Grizzlies are able to move the ball, as they've done a couple times, their first drive went for 78 yards. They had 3 drives in a row that went for 18 total. This one off to a 33-yard start. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line of Trine.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Unsportsmanlike penalty, automatic first down.
Oh, and a 15-yard penalty on sportsmanlike conduct against Trine. Couldn't exactly hear who that one was on. But a boost again for this Franklin offense. Just got 15 free yards.
After the penalty, the ball will be marked at the 28-yard line.
Ross now 8 of 16. Here's the reverse. Jared Gibson's got wheels to burn. He has a first down inside the 10. Second run of the year by Gibson. 19-yard gain by Jared. We'll visit this in a little few moments, but Gibson's got some strong connections to the Angola area. And little symmetry between both these teams, and the former Angola Hornet swarmed inside the 10, 1st and goal. Johnson, the back of the pistol, brought it down and hits Gibson. Touchdown, Grizzlies! Second touchdown reception of the year by Jared Gibson. Nine-yard pitch and catch between Gibson and Ross. The extra point to make this a 3-point game. Snap down, holds, looks good. The kick spiraling through, and it's 17-14 Trine. The Grizzlies strike back here on Grizz TV, presented by Hubler Automotive Group. After starting on the 25-yard line, 6 plays, 76 yards, 9-yard touchdown pass between Kai Ross and Jared Gibson in a minute 55, and Franklin ends a 17-point run by Trine. 3-point ball game here. So we were saying before the drive began, notable alum from Trine, Ralph Kettner, eventually founded the grocery store named Food Lion, which has over 1,300 stores across the mid-Atlantic and southeastern states. They're 1930s, heavily engineering school. A lot of the receivers, about half the roster are engineering students for the Thunder. Grizzlies looking to engineer a defensive stop. Their defense has given up 10 straight points. They did hold Trine to a field goal last time, and this kick is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. It looked like it was a threat to roll out a play, but it just held in there. So far for the Trine offense, Alex Price is 3 for 4 for 71 yards. Two of those receptions went to Connor Arthur. It was 44 yards on 2 catches. Trine spreads the ball around a lot. Last year,
Cale Lawson, who has yet to have a catch so far today, was the leading receiver for Trine with just 19 catches, but Thunder had at least 7 receptions, so they spread it around. They work on the ground a lot. There's Crowder, and he's stuffed. The Franklin defense rises on first down, and it's going to be maybe a gain of 1 on the play. Second and 9. Price will await. Second and 8. Hit as he threw. Lobs it down the sideline. What a grab made. Brandon Klein. It looks like he was guarded well by the Franklin defense, but perfectly placed pass by Alex Price finds Klein, who has his second catch of the day. The first one in for a touchdown. 33 yards on the pitch and catch. And Trine is in Franklin territory with 9 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Price looks outside. Has Klein again, and Klein close to a first down, and he works his way for a first down. Gain of about 11 on the play. Brandon Klein is having an outstanding day. He had 5 catches entering today for an 8-yard average, just 40 yards total. His longest catch of the season before today had been 11 yards, and he's zoomed past that now. He's averaging 20 on his 3 catches. All of them have gone over 11. Coming close to 9 minutes to play here in the first half. And a timeout taken. And we'll take one too. Grizzlies' second timeout, 1st and 10 with 9:05 to go. First down and 10 for Trine. Moving the ball well, mostly off the legs of receiver Brandon Klein, senior from Florida. And the keeper by Price is a good run. Gets it across the 25-yard line to about the 23. Second and 4. Second and 4. Crowder, a tough man to tackle, fights on to the 12, 13-yard lines, or is going to be marked down. I'm going to say 13, gain of 11 on the play. Coming out of the game, at least for the moment, is Charlie Moore, the junior from McCordsville, Indiana. Helmet popped off. Grizzlies do rotate their linebackers. Royce Lofton, a sophomore from Columbus, Indiana. He's in right now. Bo Hess, sophomore from Martinsville. They have to tackle Crowder, and they do so. I don't think he got anything on that run. He got 1 yard. Fell forward for a yard. 2nd down and 9. And if the Grizzlies could hold Trine to a field goal again, that would be some play. Some stand by this defense. Trine has moved the ball well. The last 3 drives have gone over 38 yards, 30-some yards. Including this one. Price looking to keep it up the middle, and he's engulfed again. Got 2. Actually, that was not Price. That was Cole Alexander, that Wildcat quarterback. A bigger quarterback. Went to Franklin Pierce, is where he transferred here from for a year or so. Originally LaPel High School, and it's 3rd down and 7. Price back in at quarterback. Price will throw over Crowder, incomplete. And now will have to come the kicking unit for Trine. Last time, Trine entrusted the kicking duties to Braden Moore, who's the punter. Now at a more comfortable distance, it'll be Colton Wampler, who is 1 for 2 on field goals this season. His longest was 38 yards. This one, closer than that. From 26, looked like a hand might have got on it. Didn't matter. It pedaled its way through. And Trine now leads 20-14 with 6 minutes and 37 seconds to go. That drive for Trine, 9 plays, 66 yards, ended with that 26-yard field goal, 4 minutes and 7 seconds. A little interesting, just serendipitous moment. The 2018 Angola Hornets are well represented today. Jared Gibson and Marquise Tagliaferri, both on that team and key contributors. They were senior leaders on the team. Gibson was the leading rusher as a quarterback. He rushed for over 1,200 yards, almost 1,300. Chase Schempf also had a great year that year, running 2,400 yards combined between Gibson and Schempf. Tagliaferri was the leading tackler. He had 107 that year. It was the 4th most for an Angola Hornet since ever, and it was the most since 1978. They both played with your younger brothers. They both are wearing the same numbers on their respective college teams that they wore that year for Angola. That'll be another fair catch. So the ball at the 25. And that team, the 2018 Hornet team, also the 2017 Hornet team, the most successful programs for the Angola Hornets. They were 12-1. Those are the 2 best records ever. And they both won sectional titles. They both fell to Bishop Dwenger in the regionals. Also on that team, Tucker Hasselman, who's the starting middle linebacker for Trine today. He was a sophomore on that team. He's a sophomore this year too. So a lot of Angola Hornets represented in today's game. Cora has a seam. Cora hit it, but not able to get too far. Got to the 29-yard line, gain of 4. That's the 7th carry of the game for Cora, and it's been tough sledding. He has 15 yards on the ground. Second game in a row that Cora has been a little bit corralled. We'll see what happens over the rest of it. This time he bursts free to the 39-yard line. To the 34-yard line, check that. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
for Trine.
20 seconds on the play clock.
Wright comes out.
Tight end Matt Neely comes in. A little heavier formation. And it's Cora up the middle. He has the first down, and he's a threat to the 50, 40, out of bounds, close to the 35. They'll mark him out, say his foot stepped out at the 38-yard line. Best run of the day for Garrett Cora. 28-yard run. So we go inside 5.5 to play.
Ball spotted at the 38-yard line of Trine. First down, Berkeley.
And kind of feel the momentum swing now. Over the middle, but behind Rias Moore was the pass from Kai Ross. 50% passing so far today. 9 for 18.
Second down and 10.
1 touchdown, 1 pick. 112 yards. Fifth play of the drive. It's a screen to Gibson, and he's hit immediately and wrapped up. All over that was Jalen Page, a senior cornerback from Anderson, Indiana. One of the few players that went to LaPel High School for the Bulldogs. Say gain of nothing, 3rd down and 10.
Longest field goal of the season for Derek Bolden
Was 34 yards. They got a ways to go. Longest of his career is 40. Still have to get closer for that too. Ross over the middle has Gibson.
He's hit
Well, quickly by Keyshawn Amison. They're going to mark that at the 31. It'll be 4th down and a yard. You just see how determined Gibson can be and is frequently. And Franklin looks like they're going for it. Cameron Johnson, the bigger running back in the game. They'll give it to him, and he's hitting the backfield, turnover on downs. With 3 minutes and 52 seconds to go, the blitz, the penetration from that Trine defensive front, too much. And Trine looks to add to their one-possession lead here. They have 3 minutes and 52 seconds to do it. First and 10 from the 32. Crowder. You just keep seeing more carries as he's continued to be effective. Maybe got a half yard on it. And a helmet came off. That was Cody Wilkerson, so he'll have to sub out. Charlie Moore goes in. So one of those turf fields that have the black pellets that can sometimes get in your eyes. Cody Wilkerson having a good day for Franklin. 7 tackles so far. Shea McGrath has the 1 whole sack. There's 1 sack broken up between a couple players. Coming close to 3 minutes to go. 2nd down and 9. Kept by Price, and he fooled the defense, and he's off to the races. Can Andrew Papa run him down? He cannot. Touchdown, Trine. 67 yards
for Alex Price, his longest by a mile on the season
and his career. So coming on for the extra point will be Hentz. And it's good. 27-14.
The Trine Thunder 27, the Franklin Grizzlies 14.
And just a little display of miscommunication there in the defense. They all went with Crowder, who has just been such a huge threat. But Price kept it, and Price scored. This Franklin defense has struggled against the run so far this season, allowing 294.5 yards per game. That is 226th in the country. Trine's run the ball well. That is their strength as a team, 172 yards. And so far today, Trine is running the ball well. They've got 151 through almost a half of football to Franklin's 79 on the ground. Franklin's passed for more. But Trine has the advantage in overall yardage and on the scoreboard, 27-14 with 2:57 to go. Gibson will have a shot at it. Fights his way across the 25-yard line to the 29. So Franklin will take over the 29-yard line. It's their second best field position of the game, and they've scored quickly. Last touchdown drive was 1:55. That's plenty of time. 2 minutes 52 seconds to go here in the first half. It's Cora, who ran the ball well last drive, gets 2.
Second down and 7 at the 33-yard line.
48 yards on 8 carries for Garrett Cora. He's also got 14 through the air on the 1 touchdown reception. Second and 7. Oh, almost interception. That pass was low in front of McKinney. I don't know if Dylan McKinney saw it. Now 3rd and 7. Blitz in the middle. Ross is in trouble. Ross is going down. 3 thunderstruck. And Ross lost a lot of yardage on the play. Back to the 20-yard line. Lost 12 yards on the sack. And Franklin will have to punt. Timeout taken by Trine. Will take one too. You're watching Grizz TV presented by Hubler Automotive Group. Back to punt for Franklin. Dylan Boswell had himself a good game so far, punting the football. This is a line drive. And Kyron Pearson, another good return for him.
Ever so dangerous as a return man. He was averaging
over 10 yards per return on the punt, which is a fantastic number. And now Trine has a minute 42 to inflict further damage if they're able to. They have thrown 7 passes. And most of their damage, Trine, has been on the ground. They've rushed the ball 19 times for 151 yards. That is 7.9 yards per attempt for Trine. Price will look to throw and completes it to his main target today, Brandon Klein. Yet another grab by Klein. That is his 4th. 11-yard gain. So ball now the 24 and Trine in business yet again with 80 seconds to go. No need to hurry for them. The Thunder taking their time. Price brings it back, looks for it. Price was looking for Klein again. That ball was dropped. Andrew Papa, the junior from Evansville, went to Bosse High School, defending and comes off a little hobbled. Kahari Jackson subs back in. .112 to go. Second quarter. Trine with a 13-point lead, looking to add to it. Price over the middle, and it's dropped by Connor Arthur. The ball just seemed to float there. It was in his gloves, then left behind him. No one able to make the play, fell harmlessly to the turf, and now it's 3rd down and 10 for Trine. On 3rd and 10. Price gestured toward Klein, and he's blown up by Ojada. Loss of 9 on the play. Jairo Ojada, the Carmel Greyhound, and he looked like one there. A flash into the backfield for his 15.5. Basically, we'll round up, 16th sack of his collegiate career, 2nd of the year for number 2. He switched to number 2 this year. He always wanted to be number 2. Former Ohio State Buckeye great Chase Young was a player he liked a lot when he was younger. Ojada did. And he wore number 2. Braden Moore will try a long field goal with 20 seconds to go. He already made one from distance. This one is no good. So it stays a 13-point game with 13 seconds to go on the clutch sack by Jairo Ojada. Ojada had 12 sacks last year. Now 2 this year. And the captain off to a strong start to this 2022 campaign. Franklin coming out in the ready to just take a knee and send this game to halftime, regroup. Armani Christopher late coming in. He gets his spot. Just going to take one genuflection, and we're going to be going to halftime. We're going to take a breather as we go to half, and we come back, we'll have some more little patriotic elements, go through the first half stats. Score at halftime, Franklin 27, Trine 27, Franklin 14. Trine 27, Franklin 14 on Grizz TV, presented by Hubler Automotive Group.
Welcome back, everybody, to Fott Stadium here on the campus of Franklin College. Halftime scores get ready for the second half. 5 minutes to go till halftime, or till the second half begins. 27-14. Team stats between these two squads. You just know the score. Trine has one more first down than Franklin does. On the rushing attempts, Trine has rushed for 141 yards on 20 carries. Franklin has 69 on 18. Passing through the air, Franklin is 11 of 20 for 120 yards. Trine is 6 for 10 for 131 yards. Individual numbers. Alex Price, the quarterback for Trine, 6 of 10 for 131 with a touchdown. Longest pass being 36. He did a lot of his damage on the ground. He's gained 83 yards on 10 carries. 8.5 average, not too shabby, and a touchdown. Dominic Crowder has been the main running threat for Trine. Zane Kirby, who's the starting running back, had only 1 carry for 3 yards, but Crowder has been outstanding. He has 7 carries for 53 yards. Receiving-wise, 2 men have caught all the passes for the Thunder. Klein has 4 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown, and Connor Arthur has 2 catches for 44. For Franklin, Kai Ross has 11 complete. He's 11 for 20 for 120 yards. Jared Gibson having another strong game, 6 catches for 66 yards and a touchdown. The other touchdown went to Garrett Cora, who had 1 catch for 14 yards. Dylan McKinney, Rias Moore, and Spencer Wright all have 1 catch for somewhere between 17 and 11 yards. Cora, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. On the ground, Cora, the leading rusher for Franklin, 51 yards, improvement on last week. He's averaging 5.7 yards per carry. His longest was 28. He's had a lot of short runs, and that one big one to really help shake things up. Got 9 carries. Coming up next, schedule-wise for these 2 teams, Franklin will have their first HCAC game next week as they go to, or not next week, the following week to begin October, go to Bluffton. The Beavers are currently 0-1. Then Anderson comes calling on October 8th and Defiance on October 15th. Trine will finally go home and play Center College next week, and then Alma, the Scots, come calling on October 1st. We said we were doing some today is a salute to service here at Franklin College with the patriotic helmets. And I wanted to take us back here to go into the second half with, I think, a seminal moment in at least American history and speeches. And this is the Gettysburg Address from Abraham Lincoln. Saluting to service, then in the throes of the Civil War. Address went like so. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far beyond our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it will never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work for which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be dedicated here to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that those dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. The second half is about to begin. Trine will receive. And again, they have the chance to really put some harm to this Franklin's comeback chances. The Grizzlies, one thing that Alan Hensel really wanted to see out of his team is the ability to rally, to finish strong. They started strong, then Trine got on a run. Can the Grizzlies finish strong? And that starts with a defensive stand that begins right about now. It was not returnable, and Trine will start at the 25. The Trine offense has been steady. Offensive numbers have been good. 131 through the air for Trine. That's really good for them. 141 on the ground. That is typical. And for a Franklin defense ranked 216th in yards allowed this season, Trine looking to continue to exploit. Can the Grizzlies rally? That'll be the question. It's Crowder. Kahari Jackson tries to submarine him, and the Grizzlies all corral. He gets the ball up to the 30-yard line. Gain of 5. So second down and 5 as the second half is underway. Bo Heston on that tackle. One of his teammates, when asked about Bo, said he's just a really goofy. If you need a good laugh, Bo's the type of guy to hang out with. But he was in on the tackle last play. This one, nice tackle there on the outside by Andre Harlan, a junior from Indianapolis, went to Perry Meridian High School. Stopped him just short. Oh, it's a first down. The first down has been given. It looked like it was very close. And the chains will move. First down to the second half by Trine. We played a minute here of this third quarter. And Zane Kirby stays on the sideline. It's Crowder at the running back spot. He's been so strong. And here comes the dangerous Connor Arthur, but Kahari Jackson all over him. Arthur is fast too, and Kahari Jackson snuffed that play out and erased it. Lost 2 on the play. Let's try and go to the air now. The ground game's been working for them so well. They're averaging 7 yards per rush. Price looks to take it down, now throws it, and it's a first down and more. One man missed on the tackle, and another huge play to Brandon Klein, who shrugged off Darian Porter. And Klein is down at the 35-yard line. Training staff jogs onto the field. And we'll take a little pause as Brandon Klein is being attended to. It's a 32-yard gain to Brandon Klein. Though he's down, he has had a monster game. 5 catches, 87 yards. That doubles
his receptions on the season. It's more than double his receiving yards entering today. He's averaging 17.4 yards per reception. He's got a touchdown. Brandon Klein has been half of the offense for Trine. It's basically been Klein through the air and then Price and Crowder on the ground. Between the two, Price and Crowder have accumulated 157 yards on 18 carries. That's just on the ground, and if anything happened to Klein, there goes your top receiver. Although all three of the ones on the field for the Thunder were perceived to be the top targets entering today, there is their leading receiver on the season, Cale Lawson, along the near sideline. Gain of about 8 on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 8.
A gain of 8, ball spotted in 27-yard line, 2nd down and 2.
Tricky spot for this Franklin defense. Trine has the whole playbook open to them. Take the shot, go to Crowder. They will keep it. Price hits an open man. That's Lawson. Tried to do a herky-jerky move on Porter. Not able to get around him, but he did get some extra yards, and the chains move. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Gain of 12 on the last play. First and 10. Price airs it towards the end zone. A little high for Lawson and incomplete. Kahari Jackson and Michael Lopper were there in coverage for the Grizzlies. So 2nd and 10. .33 to go. 3rd quarter. And Price somehow got away from Wilkerson and squeaked forward for a short gain of 2. 3rd and 8 coming up for Trine. And Wilkerson was all in the air, and it was tight. They're down and 8. Inside 11 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Fumble! Ball's free, picked up by Crowder, and he's going to run it towards the end zone. And he's going to be down at the 2. A turnover opportunity for the Grizzlies, bounded right back into the hands of the sophomore Dominic Crowder from Bristol, Indiana, Northridge High School. And Crowder almost scored on that play. Would have been his first rushing touchdown of the year. He's still looking to get that. The big Wildcat quarterback, Cole Alexander, subs in. Number 3, he's got 3 rushing touchdowns. There's Crowder, and his legs taken out from under him. Gets to the 1. That last gain from Crowder was 11 yards, and he inches closer to the goal line, but still stopped. 2nd and goal for Trine. And the Thunder looking to go up big here, looking to make it a 3-score game. Here early 3rd quarter, 10 minutes to play. Alexander, touchdown, Trine. 4th rushing touchdown of the season by Alexander. He entered today tied with the MIAA
in rushing touchdowns, and he scores again on a 11-play drive, a 1-yard touchdown run. Caps that drive 75 yards in 5 minutes and 11 seconds, and looking for the extra point. Snap back to Brett Kaler. It's sent up and through, and it's 34-14. Trine stretches their lead. Franklin's first chance at it comes up next on Grizz TV, presented by Hubler Automotive Group. So 11 plays, 75 yards. Yet another scoring drive by Trine. Their last, every possession they've had since their first drive of the game has either ended in a touchdown or attempted field goal. They've been able to move the ball. Here's Jared Gibson. He's been dangerous as a return man, and he finds a hole, but he can't creep up forward further. He gets the ball to the 27 is where Franklin will start. First drive of the game so far today. Kai Ross, 11 of 21 for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Leading receiver Jared Gibson, 66 yards on 6 catches. Gibson has been an outstanding player this season. He's now got 19 catches for over 200 yards. The last time Franklin had an HCAC Player of the Year, as Cora tries to fight his way through, and the ball came out at the end. It looked like he might have been down. Trine says they have it. Our referees are conferring, and the head referee says Trine does have it. Cora fumbles on the first drive of the second half by Franklin, and now Trine is in a fantastic position for them. It looked like Cora could have been down, but no review here. No review possible. It'll be Trine ball, looking for a statement. Trine has only thrown it. Trine's a bit of a throwback. They've only thrown the ball 16 times this game. They don't throw it that often. They make do with the run. They make do in different ways. Their defense scores. They're a dangerous football team. One man in motion. Price chased by Wilkerson and can't get away from him, but he does have a good gain on the play. Gain of 6. But last year, Trine, they lost 4 games. All those 4 games by a combined 18 points. Think about that. 4 games by 18 points. And safety, Keyshawn Amison, said that last season left a bad taste in their mouths. They felt that they were just a few plays away from a perfect season. And that's the goal this year, to get there. Troy Abbs says, their head coach, that they need to be selfless, tough, and disciplined. And they've been all 3 today thus far. Price gets it away in time. This is a dangerous ball. Almost intercepted. It was also almost tipped into the hands of Kyron Pearson. Andre Harlan was there. And it'll be 3rd down and reasonable. 3rd down and 3 for Trine, and again, they've run the ball very well. Dominic Crowder is averaging 6.9 yards per carry, and quarterback Alex Pierce averaging 7.8. Pierce has been very tough to corral for Franklin today, and their last play was a big run by Price. He's looking to throw, And he completes it to Lawson, who is ranging back on it. I don't know where they're going to mark that. It looks like it could be a little bit short. So 4th and inches for Trine. And the big fella, Dominic Crowder, on the field. The near side home bleachers roar. Feet's a stompin'. Price under center, stood up and bent back. Did he get enough push? Might have to even measure this one. It's going to be very close, folks. Franklin's coaches, everybody waving that it should be Franklin ball. The offense gearing up to jog out in the field. Bo Hess says it's Franklin ball. A referee looking at the sideline, checking it out. No signal yet. The Trine offense is the only team on the field. Franklin football. A turnover on down after much deliberation. The Franklin offense, we almost had a situation where the Franklin offense and the Trine offense would have been on the field at the same time. It doesn't happen that often. Our cameraman Isaac knows what it's like to have two offenses on the same time. He plays basketball. There's always two offenses on the court at the same time. So 1st and 10, deep in their own territory. Franklin with new life. Cameron Johnson in the game at running back. Got nothing. It's been tough sledding on the ground for the Grizzlies so far today. Franklin averaging just over 3.5 yards per carry. And Johnson now 7 yards on 5. Underneath Gibson, maybe a yard. And he lost a yard on the play. So it'll be 3rd down and 11. Add to Gibson's conference leading reception total. 7 today. Now gives him 22 on the season. Need 11 yards. Ross. Oh, almost a heroic grab by Rias Moore. The ball was behind him. He had his glove on the end of the football, but not able to rein it in. And the Grizzlies are going to be forced to punt with 7 minutes and 4 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Looking at the drive chart for Franklin, it's been rough. The last 4 drives for Franklin have netted them minus 12 yards. Now one ended in half. The previous drive didn't get any yards before it fumbled. Pearson will try to squeak out a few yards and got about 6 of them on the return. Aaron Pearson, nice threat to have there at the back end of the defense. And here comes that Trine offense yet again. Fun little tidbit of note, during the offseason, there was a viral video that conquered the internet for like a day, and it was Troy Abbs. He was being interviewed at practice by the Channel 55 up on Fort Wayne, and he got run into by one of his special teams players. Mid-question, how are you feeling about this year? And his second word of his answer, he got ran into. He said it was the hardest hit he's taken since the Hanover-Franklin game in 1996. And Abbs was a knows Franklin well, played at Hanover. Here's a run by Price and another good run by Price. The field position battle, by the way, after that strong run by Price. 8-yard gain for him. Trine has had a 14-yard advantage just in starting field position over Franklin. So they've been working with a shorter field, and they've been capitalizing it. 2nd down and 2. Blitz shown. Black not able to get there in time. He was snuffed out. They give to the run, and it's a first down to Dominic Crowder, who bulldozes his way to the 37-yard line. Gain of 4. And Joseph Keefe will now sub in at running back, the junior from Marne, Michigan. He was a quarterback in high school. And fun little tidbit about his hometown, number 40 in white, Marne, was originally named Berlin. And it had been that way for years and years and years, and then World War I came and they changed it to Marne. Just got too much flack for having a German-sounding name. So the Marne, Michigan native, not the Berlin, Michigan native, has the run and loses yardage. Isaac Lawrence went to Decatur Central High School here on the south side of Indianapolis. Makes the play. Loses 4. Second down and 14. Not exactly the way you want to make your mark in the stat book. 1 carry, lost 4. But it was good coverage by that defensive line for Franklin, which has garnered a lot of respect from the Trine coaching staff and everyone around. Deep and talented. Ojada almost got to him. Price trying to run away, gets away from Moore, and the ball comes out, and it's loose, and Trine yet again falls on a fumble.
The ball was just laying there on the turf, and then a white jersey from the Thunder comes sweeping in. And it will be a third down for Trine. After, man, that's 3 fumbles, it seems. More than one, where Trine has left the ball on the ground and been able to fall on it. Price has dropped a couple. Now 3rd and 2, and somebody jumped. Makai Simmons took a tumble backwards after contact from Franklin. Jake Jones of the Grizzlies says, Jake Jones said that Trine had jumped offsides, but a referee disagrees, and it's an offsides on the Grizzlies. And it feels like there haven't really been that many penalties, but that's the second penalty of the game by the Grizzlies, and it's costly. Gives Trine a new set of downs. Here, ball on the 25-yard line of Franklin. Price pulls it back from Crowder. On the run, it's low, it's incomplete. He was looking for Tim Casper. And then a flag comes in at the end of the play. After the quarterback, Cole Alexander, Jake Jones was close to him on the play, and we'll see what this flag is on. Alexander staying in the game at quarterback. Price got pulled after the fumble. He's having a conversation with Troy Abbs on the sideline. Probably not the most enjoyable one from Price's perspective. Here's a referee. So roughing the passer on Jake Jones, the junior from Thorntown, Indiana. High school teammate of a couple players at Western Boone. From this Franklin roster, Spencer Wright was one of them. Second team left guard, Max Johnson, also on that dynasty at Weibo. But half the distance to goal, 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Penalties, bit of problem. Franklin not able to capitalize on fumbles by Trine. But this time the defense holds. Owen Ogle gave a big embrace to Joseph Keefe, and Joe Keefe went down. Loss of 6 on the play. Alex Price subs back in. Price again, more of a threat to run than pass so far today. Has gained 111 on the ground. Double blitz is shown. They don't come. Price keeps it and is ridden down from behind by Ojeda. So third down and 12-ish, 13, somewhere in between. Can the Grizzlies force another field goal to keep themselves in this game? Still got a lot of work to go with 3 minutes left. Price awaits the snap. Keefe in the backfield with him. Passing formation, you'd assume. He's looking to throw over the middle, has a man, and it's caught for a touchdown. Rodney Johnson, a junior from Houston, Texas, makes the grab, his 4th of the year and his first touchdown of the season. And it was a lob for 16 yards. On for the extra point is Andrew Hentz, who's looked pretty good today. The kick is up, the kick is through the uprights, and it's good. And it was a 7-play, 49-yard drive in 4 minutes and 14 seconds, 16-yard pass completion for the touchdown from Alex Price to Rodney Johnson. And it's 41-14 here at Fott Stadium on Grizz TV, presented by Hubler Automotive Group. Now the Grizzlies offense gets another crack at it. Again, last few drives for Franklin. The last successful drive where they moved the ball forward was some time ago. They had 43 yards and it ended on a downs, 4th and 1. Cameron Johnson not able to get the one. Since then, they've lost yardage, minus 12 over the last 4 series. See if the Grizzlies can flip that around. A little pooch kick, fair catch called for. And the fair catch gets the ball at the 25-yard line by Cameron Johnson. So ball on is marked on the 26-yard line from where the fair catch was called for. Ross peering downfield, gives it a lob, looking for Gibson. Their feet tangled between Jared Gibson and Michael Edwards, the junior cornerback from Central Catholic in Toledo. And the Central Catholic in Toledo, few players Trine's found guys from. Jamon Gibson from that same high school. What I think is interesting is Toledo Central Catholic, they're scarlet and gray, but the Fighting Irish is their mascot. Ross in trouble, throws this one behind Derek Thompson. First times we've seen him today, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10. As the Grizzlies offense trying not to stall out. But 3rd down and 10 deep in their own territory. 2 minutes and 33 seconds remain here in the 3rd quarter. That's Toledo Central Catholic team, 3 state championships since 2005. And a couple guys went there. Deshaun Kaiser, the former Notre Dame quarterback. Dane Sanzenbacher is a great player at Ohio State. Good program in Northwest Ohio. Ross chased, Ross throws, it's tipped, it's incomplete. When the ball was tipped, Spencer Wright, who was breaking in the ball, took a shove from Michael Edwards.
but since the ball was deflected, it was nothing coming from it, and the Franklin offense yet again has to trot off the field. They have gained nothing or lost yardage on their last 5 series. And now Dylan Boswell will punt. Back to return, Kyron Pearson, who has threatened a few times. He's gained yards on most of his returns, but he hasn't broken one big. Boswell almost blocked, but a booming kick. Pearson dropped the ball. Pearson, the ball's still free. And yet again, a Trine Thunder player, this time Pearson, able to fall on the fumble. So Trine's lived dangerously at times, but it hasn't bit him yet. So Trine will start on their 28. By field position comparisons, this is one of their worst field position spots for Trine, and Franklin has only started further up the field than their own 28 3 times. So Trine's field positions have typically been outstanding. Here's the deep heave down the sideline, and a grab and a foot race won by Trine and Cale Lawson. 72 yards. Left Andre Harlan in his wake, and Trine extends their lead to 33 over Franklin. And so the timeout for Harlan, who came up hobbled after his pursuit of Lawson, but Lawson, who'd been quiet all game long, explodes on a 72-yard reception, the longest of his career by a ton. His previous career long was 42 yards, and this one he blew it away. So Harlan able to walk off under his own power. So for the kick will be Anthony Hentz. It's blocked by Kahari Jackson. There's a flag down, potentially offsides, and it will be recovered by Franklin. You would think they could have scooped and ran with it, but there's a flag down, so this all might be moot. So they're going to bring it back. I think Kahari Jackson was a little over-eager when he got off the ball. Shot of the blocks too early. Yeah, so false start, offsides on Kahari Jackson, and that means a redo for Trine. So they move the ball a yard closer, and the extra point attempt is still almost blocked by Kahari Jackson, but is good. 48-14, Trine has poured it on here in the second half. They have outscored Franklin in the third quarter 20-0. Franklin got the lead early, but Trine got on a 17-point run. Then Franklin got back into it, and then Trine extended that lead again with another 10 points. So it's all Thunder here late in the third quarter. Coming up, we got another Salute to Service remembrance. We'll offer you a couple as we go to the bridge of the third and the fourth quarter, at least one of them. We've touched moments from modern war to Civil War, and we'll have something a little bit in between. The crowd gave a nice ovation to one of the defensive coaches who is coaching hard to the delight of the fans. And here's the return. Derek Thompson, his first kick return of the game. And it's a good one. Across the 30 to the 34-yard line. And that is the second best field position for the Grizzlies. Their previous best was at the 37, but Thompson takes it back to 34. And out come the Grizzlies, and we'll see what they're able to do. Some new faces at the wide receiver spots. Dawson Delapi is in the game, as is Malachi Joy. He's had a few catches this year. Here's Derek Thompson, the running back. Ooh, he's going to lose a yard on the play. Rias Moore still into the game. And Hunter Hatfield wide to the far side of your screen, top of your screen. Rolling out, Ross flings it towards the benches. So third down and long coming up for Franklin. Third down and long, a minute 36 remains. Ross on the run, completes a downfield for a first down to Hunter Hatfield. His first catch of the season, third for his career. Gain of 14 to Hatfield. Nice grab, nice hanging with it. Finding some open field and coming back for your quarterback. Here's Thompson, and he flies through the air across the 50-yard line. They might mark him down a little bit shorter than that, or mark him down closer to on the Franklin side of the 50 by the 49-yard line, right at the top of the F in the FC. We're inside a minute to go, third quarter. The top receivers, all three of them back in the game. Ross, McKinney had an arm draped across him, and it's incomplete. Angel Sanchez was there. What's interesting, this Trine defense, I think you've seen it so far today, but it is loaded with all-conference players. Angel Sanchez is one of them. He was second-team All-MAIA in the Spring 21 season. He had 2 interceptions last year, and he is the player that Troy Abs pointed to when asked, who's the most intense player on game day? And Sanchez is that. He's from Valparaiso, went to Portage High School. With reverence, called a region kid. And that he is tough, and that pass high of Delapi. I'll bring up. Brings up fourth down. And the pass high of Dollop forces another Grizzly punt. Pearson back deep, Boswell to punt. We looked at the history of these two teams, and timeout here Franklin had a pretty commanding lead in the overall record against Trine entering today. They were 5-1 all time against the Thunder back in the Leonard days for Franklin. But they were also 3-0 here at Fott Stadium, named after one of the legendary coaches here at Franklin College. And there's 40 seconds to go. Here in the third as Trine looks to keep adding more to that scoreboard. They lead 48-14. Franklin has been held scoreless this third quarter. Boswell's had a busy day. And Pearson just gets it across the 15-yard line, but not much further. And Trine will start over at the 17-yard line.
Ball spotted at the 19-yard line.
27 and 6/10 seconds remain. Throw and a grab. Rodney Johnson for a first down. 15 seconds to go here, third quarter. Will they get it off in time? A pass slung incomplete. New quarterback in the game for Trine. It's Brett Kaler, a senior from Huntington, Indiana. Played a lot in the opener against Anderson. And Kaler getting his opportunity here in the waning stages of the third quarter. There's a second left in the third. And a second down and 10 facing Trine. Kaler waits in the gun. Last play of the third quarter is incomplete. Down the sideline, he was looking for Tim Casper, and it is incomplete. We'll switch ends. Trine with a commanding lead right now, 48-14. So to continue our salute to service here on the broadcast, as they are saluting the military on the field, have this poem from Audie Murphy. It's called "The Freedom Flies in Your Heart Like an Eagle." And Audie Murphy was a World War II hero, Medal of Honor recipient, ended up starring in Hollywood and the Red Badge of Courage, among other things. But he wrote, "Dusty old helmet, rusty old gun, they sit in the corner and wait, two souvenirs of the Second World War that have withstood the time and the hate. Mute witness to a time of much trouble, where kill or be killed was the law, where these implements used with high honor, what was the glory they saw? Many times I've wanted to ask them, and now that we're here all alone, relics all three of a long ago war where has freedom gone? Freedom flies in your heart like an eagle. Let it soar with the winds high above. Among the spirits of soldiers now sleeping, guard it with care and with love. I salute my old friends in the corner. I agree with all they've said. And if the moment of truth comes tomorrow, I'll be free, or by God, I'll be dead." Audie Murphy. Medal of Honor recipient from World War II. We head to the fourth quarter. So third and long Cole Alexander in at quarterback for Trine. Or it's still Brett Kaler, excuse me. He's looking deep down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Trying to get that ball to Kyron Pearson, but Kaler came up empty. And for the first time in a while, Trine is now forced to punt. So Jared Gibson back to return. And Braden Moore to punt it away for Trine. And it's a tumbling kick. Gibson shakes off one man, cuts back on another one. Look out from behind. Gladio's there, and he's really quick. A flag comes flying in at the end of the play. Vinny Ambrose, a sophomore from Elkhart, Indiana, also in on the play. Joined by Gladio, senior from Morgan, Ohio. And we'll see what our referee has to say. Oh, so it's a face mask on Vinny Ambrose of Trine. So that'll give Franklin some excellent field position. Ball moved all the way up to midfield. Best field position of the day by quite a bit. So 1st and 10. Just under 20 seconds into this 4th quarter. Ross hands this up to our 3rd running back of the day for Franklin, Cam Jennings, sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana. That is Jennings' first carry of the game. First carry of the season. There's a gain of 2 on the play. Jennings, good run here, close to a 1st down. Gain of 7 on it, so it'll be 3rd down and 1 for Franklin. Number 1 receivers come back in. Just a beautiful day here at Vaught Stadium. I know the score's not what Franklin fans are hoping for, but those glintering blue, navy, dark blue helmets of the Grizzlies. It's good to see him back. Get this 2022 season underway. Gibson in motion. They hand it off to Jennings, who has the 1st down. Gain of 4 on the play. So a 1st down for Franklin. Clock a running. 13 and a half minutes to go in this football game. Bobbled snap, Ross in trouble, got away from one blitzer, trying to loot some more, takes it upfield and gets something out of it. Heads up play by Kai Ross, making the most out of that play. So 2nd down, 8 on the play. Here's Jennings, trying to fight his way through, running hard. Cam Jennings, in situations like this is where you make a name for yourself and try to stake your claim on further playing time. Gain of 4 on the play. They're down and 3 for Franklin. That one up the field. Nice grab by Gibson.
Move the change yet again. Gain of 6 on the play.
West Van Hoosier on the stop. First down and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Trying to work that outside and tumbling forward.
Derek Thompson on the rush.
Derek Thompson. Nice run. Gain of 5.
Second down and 4.
I say second down and 4 on the scoreboard here. So a 6-yard gain for number 6 for Franklin. Thompson from Bologna, Indiana, went to Brownstown Central High School, and this time all tied up in the backfield.
Derek Thompson on the carry. No gain on the play. Brings up
Third down and 4. Inside 11 minutes to go here. Fourth quarter. McKinney, Dylan McKinney is subbed in. Top of the screen. Ross looking his way, throws over the middle, caught for a Grizzly touchdown. Dylan McKinney, 18 yards. His second touchdown of the season, 9th of his career. Cora now 3 touchdowns today. And out comes Derek Baldwin.
Derek Baldwin on to attempt the PAT for the Grizzlies.
Snap is adequate. Kick is up. Kick is good. And it's 48-21. Trine leads Franklin with 10:31 to go. Fourth quarter. The last drive for Franklin, 9 plays, 50 yards, touchdown completion to Dylan McKinney, 4 minutes, 10 seconds. It is the longest drive Franklin's had since back in the second quarter.
Back to return for the Thunder. Also a kid Gladio back there.
So Crutchfield will fire this one down range, and actually trying a little onside variety, a little pooch kick, and it'll be fair caught at the 30-yard line. Fair caught by Ambrose, Vinny Ambrose. And that is where Trine will take over. Brett Kaler, the senior from Huntington, Indiana, will stay in. Joe Keefe is the running back. Gladio, the wide receiver. Kyron Pearson on the outside. And then Reese Lehman from Sylvania, Ohio, a junior. Also in the slot. 10:31 to go in the ball game. And off to Keefe, and he's hit immediately. Got a yard, if that. Second and 9.
Brock Thurman on the stop for the Grizzlies.
Inside 10 minutes to play, fourth quarter, second down and 9 for Trine. Kaler
will look to run, but he can't get away from Brady Mack. Mack, a freshman from Lexington, Indiana, in on the sack. Nice play for Brady. Loss of 3 on the play. Several subs in on the defense for Franklin. Third and 12. Kaler flings it upfield. Reese Lehman trucked across the 45-yard line, but it looked like Kaler was going to take it and run with it, but up ahead alertly found Lehman in a big pitch and grab, 28 yards for Trine. We're inside 9 minutes to play, and the Thunder keep this drive rolling. And coming up next for Franklin on October 1st, the Grizzlies head on the road to Bluffton. And the Anderson Ravens come calling next time here at Fott Stadium on October 8th. Here's a check out to Lehman. Back-to-back grabs for Reese Lehman. He eludes a tackler and gets across the 30-yard line. Nice heady run after the play. Catch, 13-yard gain for the Thunder. And back-to-back grabs by Reese Lehman. That gives Lehman now 2 catches for 41. High snap, Kaler able to corral it and just eats that one. And here comes an unnecessary roughness call against Brock Thurman, the sophomore from Washington, Indiana, who bopped him. Fell into the quarterback after he'd given up. So you would assume some free yardage coming up for Trine. 7 minutes, 48 seconds to go. Right now, referee visiting, seeing what Troy Abbs wants to do. We're about to find out. So, free 15 yards for Trine. Last time out for Trine at Rose Holman in a game that did not really thrill Troy Abbs, the head coach of the Thunder, with joy with how his team played. Happy they pulled it out in the end. But did pick up his 50th career win at Trine. He's 50-20 now. And here's Lehman again. It's kind of been his drive, and he stumbles his way inside the 10-yard line up to the 6. 23-yard gain. And so Lehman been racking up some yards here for Trine. Brett Kaler, who has 2 passing touchdowns this season, the 44% passer for his career, is looking to improve upon that. He's going to hand it up, upside, inside the 5-yard line on the run, Luke Carmody, a freshman from Huntertown, Indiana. For Carmody, that's his 3rd carry of the season. So 2nd and goal from the 4. Kaler waits in the gun. 6.5 minutes to play. Carmody trying to fight his way towards the end zone. He's going to be short. Stopped at the 2-yard line. Carmody seeking his first career touchdown.
Third down.
6 minutes to play. Carmody switched out for Joe Keefe. Part-time quarterback, part-time wide receiver Nicholas Cristiano is in the slot near side. They look to the far side to Pearson. And did he bring his feet down? He was able to catch the ball. It's a touchdown. What a grab by Pearson. There is tight coverage by Talijah Robinson, but Pearson went up and over and made the grab. That was a 9-play, 76-yard drive. Took 4 minutes and 53 seconds off the clock before the 2-yard lob from Brett Kaler for his 6th career touchdown to Kyron Pearson, who now has first touchdown of the season for him and 6th for his career. And the score now, after the kick is good, is 55-21. Trine has now put up the most points on a Grizzly team since the Victory Bell game back in 2018, I believe. Back in 2020. So in the spring game of the Victory Bell, it's the 90th anniversary of that game. Hanover won 56-21, and there's the most points scored against Franklin since then. So back to return for Franklin will be Derek Thompson and Mitch Mickelfresh, sophomore from Chesterton, Indiana, same hometown as starting middle linebacker Cody Wilkerson.
Number 6, Derek Thompson. Number 27, Mitch McElfresh.
And on to kick for Trine is Daniel Le Hernandez, sophomore from Snellville, Georgia. They use a lot of different kickers. Both these schools do. But Le Hernandez getting his opportunity here. About 5.5 to go here, fourth quarter. A little more than 5.5. Down range, and Mickelfresh will take it. And he got erased across the 20-yard line. Zooming in for the stop was Cam McCarver, a freshman from Warren, Indiana. So Franklin takes over. Down 34 with 5 minutes and 33 seconds to go. Kai Ross stays in at quarterback. He's 15 of 32, which is under 50%, 47%. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception for 157 yards. And here's a handoff to Cam Jennings, who continues to run hard entering this drive. Jennings had 17 yards on 4 carries, and that one a gain of 6. So give him 23 on 5 carries. And some production. Nice production from the sophomore from Indianapolis. Here he is again, trying to push the pile, and the pile pushed back. Squeaked it forward, gain of 1 on the play. Brings up a 3rd down and 3. So 3rd down and 2 coming up after the 2-yard gain.
And Tucker Zilli on the stop for Trine.
Hatfield and DeLapp change positions. Rias Moore in at tight end. Also in Matt Neely. And that time Jennings was snuffed out before he could get it, before he could get going at all. Lost 2 yards on the play. 4th down and 4 coming up for Franklin. Inside 4 minutes to go. And Franklin will punt. They will be sending out a new punter, Adam Guth, sophomore from Lincoln City, Indiana. Which, Lincoln City, very close to Abraham Lincoln's boyhood home down in southern Indiana. They changed the name of it afterwards. Now, Guth has a bit of a leg. Boswell, the starter, all-conference performer. So after a delay game, Franklin will scoot backwards and kick it away with 3 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the game. Guth gives this a ride. And it will not be returned by Patrick Zollinger. So Trine will start on the 40-yard line, their own 40-yard line. Three minutes, 2 seconds on the clock. Ball kept by the quarterback up to the 40-yard line. It's Cole Alexander. Entering today, Cole Alexander was one of 6 players in the MIAA with at least 18 points scored to his credit. Leaders in the conference in scoring. He's just tallying up the point totals. Today is not so totally going to help his cause, but still a frequently used option by Troy Abbs, and that one is incomplete. Alexander is trying to flick that one out to Cristiano, the junior from Deltona, Florida. So 3rd down and 9. Two minutes, 18 seconds to go in the game. Alexander is in trouble. Alexander is sacked. In on the play for Franklin. Marco Vaughn was in on there. This was Trine's, and we'll see what they opt to do. I'm going to wait more time out, take a timeout. This is the first drive that Trine has had all game that went for negative yardage. They lost 3 yards on this series. And Trine will take the timeout, and we'll see what they do, who they send out there with 1:31 to go in a game. That started promisingly for Franklin, and then Trine just drove away. They lead 55-21 with 91 seconds left to play. Lay Hernandez will punt it. Malachi Joy will return it for Franklin, or at least try to. Line drive punt. Joy will let it bound. And the ball will be downed after it trickles to a stop on the far side of the 10-yard line. 1 minute, 18 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Next for Franklin, a week off, and then they go to Bluffton. Trine will play center. Center College, interesting tidbit on them. The Texas A&M is really famous for their 12th man. They're very proud about that. That came many, many, many years ago in a game against Center College, and Texas A&M needed an extra player and picked a walk-on out of the bleachers. This run creeps across the 10-yard line. Zane Downing from Greentown, Indiana, went to Eastern High School. 60 seconds to go. 3-yard gain. Franklin in no rush. At quarterback, Blake Shear is Downing on the handoff, trying to find a seam, not getting it, and every Trine Thunder seemed to have it wrapped up. We're inside 30 seconds to go, and we'll see if Alan Hensel heads that off, if he's going to call another play or not. And Franklin in no rush with 15 seconds to go. David Carpenter. I'm strolling, and the formation line has been made, and the ball game is over. And Franklin is blitzed by the Thunder. Trine wins 55-21 in the home opener for the Franklin Grizzlies. Some major statistical notes for you. Kai Ross was 15 of 32 for 157 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And his counterpart for Trine was Alex Pierce, who was 13 of 18 for 272 yards and 3 touchdowns, no picks. That'll do it for us alongside our cameraman, Isaac Slump, statistician Tom St. Amand. I'm Jonathan Mathis saying thank you for joining us on Grizz TV, presented by Hubler Automotive Group. The Thunder are victorious 55-21 over the Grizzlies on the home opener on Grizz TV. So long from Fott Stadium.